Thank you, thank you. And thank you for playing a song that I requested. I appreciate that so much. Keith Vivens reminded, when I asked for that song, he reminded me that Reverend Jean Marie Eck used to sing that. Yeah, she did. She did bring that to us. So happy Fathering Day. Thank you, and to me too. And so in honor of Happy Fathering Day, I couldn't help myself, but I have to bring dad jokes. That's right. So I'm actually bringing, let me just read it. It is an editorial that was in Men's Health. My dad passed away 10 years ago. He died of an enlarged heart. And when the news spread in our neighborhood, well-meaning friends and acquaintances would walk up to my brother and me and tell us, "Your dad died as he lived with a big heart." It never failed to annoy us. We didn't want to be cheered up with idiotic aphorisms that put a positive spin on his medical condition. So we started telling people that he'd been killed by a colon parasite. He died as he lived, we'd say, nodding meaningfully, with angry, irritable bowels. It made us laugh, but more importantly, we knew it would have made our dad laugh. For most of his life, or at least as long as I knew him, he was a huge advocate and gleeful teller of dad jokes. So that's a good one. So as Anise said, I will be leaving right after the sermon, hence the comfortable clothes, because I'll be on a plane, and I didn't want to change. So she will be doing the blessing, and Keith will be doing the birthdays. Thank you, Elaine. And where are y'all? Y'all are here. I know y'all are. Yes, thank y'all so much for bringing the cakes and the goodies, and also for Father's Day. And I'm sorry, because Thomas is not only a daddy and a wonderful one, but he's also a June baby, and he has to run out and not get a piece of cake. And he told him that I owe him a piece of cake. So, because he's got to rush me to the airport. So thank you, guys. I will be going to Unity Convention. I get to go every year. Thank y'all for letting me do that. It's a time where I get to be with colleagues, and I get to sit and just take time to restore and to learn and to bring back and share what I've learned. So I'll be there for a week, and glad that I'm doing that. So last week, Reverend Vita, thank you, gave that amazing talk on the Bible, as you always do. And she will be doing that next week as well, continuing with the Bible. And she brought to my attention a booklet on unity teachings, and she opened with the prayer. And I'm going to be using this booklet in different ways. It might show up in the meditation or the prayer. Today it shows up in the sermon. And there are, it just has wonderful teachings in us. It really just teaches unity. And so one of the entries said, unity may be defined as a way of life based on 4 great principles. Love is my God. Life is my religion. Now, if that word religion doesn't work for you, substitute what does, maybe spiritual practice. Humanity is my church, and loving my neighbor as myself is my daily worship. Amen. Loving my neighbor as myself is my daily worship. So, how does that feel? Yeah. That's the teaching, right? That's the practice. And some days y'all know this about me. My mantra is to be the love I want to see in the world. Amen. Absolutely. And there are times when I notice I am not that. I am not that. Instead, I fall into judgment or criticism, anything but love. And so that teaching right now, I feel like has been challenging, right? So what I want to offer is, again, continue with our book, Living Originally, because I believe in that book and in those practices holds the answers on how to do just that, love my neighbor as myself. Because living originally is the idea that we live from the origin. We live from that magnetic center, whatever you want to call it, home. and it is the image and the likeness of the God, right? That's the idea, is we live from that place. And when we live from that place and we love from that place, we're only going to share that love, right? That's the idea, and that is what he's teaching us. And so what he says is like, hey, there are these practices we can do so that we can live from that place. So this morning, I want to review the practices because there's 5 core practices. I want to review them, if that's okay with y'all, before we move on to the next 2. And the next 2 are special practices, and we're going to do those today. So just to review, when I started this back in May, and I know y'all been practicing as I've been going, the first one I know you have, and you'll be able to repeat with me, right? The first one is radical awareness. Do y'all remember that? Some of y'all said to me that that was so helpful for you guys, and the mantra and the affirmation was, I am aware that I'm aware, right? Just awareness. That's everything. Because here's the thing about awareness. Once you have awareness, you can follow it up with choice, right? I'm aware that I am whatever that is. I am being whatever it is, and I can shift to the essence. That's awareness. The second one is deep self-acceptance. Do y'all remember that one? Deep self-acceptance is just accepting whatever it is as it is, right? Whatever it is as it is. It's not resisting what shows up. It's not clinging. It's not desiring or wishing for something else. That's huge. That's huge, right? That's deep self-acceptance. I accept it as it is. Okay, so then the third one, do y'all remember the third one? Yes, thank you, unlimited forgiveness. Now, for some people, that comes really easily. For others of us, I'll raise my hand, forgiveness is more of a longer journey. A longer journey to forgive. My spouse knows that really well. And forgiveness is just choosing to leave it in the past, right? Exactly where it needs to be. It's noticing when you're telling the story, whatever the story is, and you're still like, oh, like that. You haven't forgiven. I love that look on your face. Because you're like, and then he did, and then she, and then he, right? All of that, that is the, what's the word? Opposite of forgiveness. So when you notice yourself telling a story like that, you can come back to center and breathe. And then know you're already forgiveness, right? So then the next teaching, I believe, is universal benevolence. Is that correct? Universal benevolence. Isn't that beautiful? Universal benevolence. It is, honestly, it's what we say in Christmas, goodwill to all. That's really what universal benevolence is. It's this idea that what I want for myself, I want for others. It's the good for everyone, right? I love the Buddhist practices. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be at peace. May all beings not suffer, right? So that's universal benevolence. And then the last time I spoke, do y'all remember what that was? Compassionate communication. Thank you, Laura. She didn't remember. Compassionate communication. That's what I spoke about. Now, what Robert Brummett says is there's a such thing called right speech. And what he means by right speech is he uses the Buddhist term of it's right, it's this sacred rightness, right? This sacred knowing, this basically kindness. So anytime you speak, anytime you read, anytime you write, it's from, you ask yourself, is this true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Anything you say. And here's the biggest piece about this. The biggest piece is you're not speaking to change somebody else's mind. And it's also about listening. So when you listen, you truly listen. Because sometimes I know I listen and I'm waiting to speak, right? Or something else is going on in my head. I'm not really listening. Or I know something I do, and Jan can tell y'all this. I can be on my phone, right? She's going like that. That's not listening, is it? when somebody's speaking and you're on your phone. That's not listening. So that's what compassionate communication is. And the idea, what he says is, we communicate so that we can transform. Did you know that? That's actually why we're communicating. Not to change somebody else's mind, but so that we can grow and transform. That's what the point of it is. That's a big ask. That's a big ask. But that's exactly what we're doing. So, now that I've caught y'all up, I want you to just ask yourselves, what is showing up in your life right now? Just ask yourself, what is showing up in my life right now? And is it possibly here to teach me something, whatever it is? Just check in with yourself. And see if you're willing to see it as a teacher. And you can even say to yourself, if it makes it easier, that I choose to see everything as holy now, hence the song. Because I find when I just say everything is holy, then it gives it an easier way, right? I'm able to be with it in an easier way. So the teachings we're going to do now are the special teachings. He calls them the core teachings, which we did. They build one on the other. And the core teachings are the foundation, and we use them every single day. Now, the next two teachings that I'm going to share with you guys, one is everything is my teacher. I'm going to say that again. Everything is my teacher. That can be a hard pill to swallow. I know that for a fact. I know that from personal experience. And the second one is dancing with chaos. That's an even bigger pill to swallow. Dancing with chaos, especially because we are witnessing a lot of chaos in this world. So we're going to look at it in a way that takes hopelessness and brings us to hopefulness. That's my hope this morning. So everything is my teacher. And the idea about these special practices is that while the others are the core ones that you do every day, these are like a lens that you look at through. You can even say that they're a working hypothesis, something you're going to work on that day. So everything is my teacher. That's the first one. It simply means that every person, every place, every object, every event, and every experience in my life is a potential teacher. How's that feel? For some of us, it feels like, oh, yeah, of course. And others, it's like, really, what? No, thank you. I remember once when my sister, who watches us online, who's in Seattle right now, hopefully she's watching, said to me, well, it turns out, it looks like that person's here to be your teacher. I was like, They don't have anything to teach me. Which says what? I got a whole lot to learn, right? I got a whole lot to learn. And so one of the things he says is to do the practice, you have to have an empty cup. And that's really true for anything in all practices, right? Meaning we have to be open and willing. Or think about the empty cup. When I said, oh, that person doesn't have anything to teach me, what am I coming from? My cup is full. I'm probably being judgmental. I'm probably being critical. I'm probably being self-righteous. Add on all of it, right? So the idea is you have to empty the cup so that you can see everything as your teacher. To do this practice, we must have a deep willingness to learn. It requires humility. It requires that we open to life instead of struggling to control it. I'm going to say that again. All wisdom teachings begin and ask us to begin with openness, willingness, humility, teachability. If we're struggling to control life, are we teachable? If we're struggling to control another person, are we teachable, right? So when something shows up that you're really, truly struggling with, allow yourself time to sit with it. Just sit with it. Difficult personality, difficult situation. Let yourself sit with it. Let yourself be curious about it. Let yourself meditate. Ask yourself, what is this here to teach me right now? And I, like y'all, I've had moments in my life where there have been I find difficult personalities. Sometimes it's me, right? Or difficult situations. I can be very difficult. And I've had to sit with it and really like be with it. And so one of the things I did once when I had this difficult personality and difficult situation is I got out my journal because I love to journal. And I thought, I'm going to ask questions of this other person. And I just asked questions. And then I decided, and with my left hand, I'm going to answer those questions I'm asking. And it was amazing what I got. I was able to hear what that person had probably been trying to tell me that I was not hearing. I was able to hear it. And I was able to see, oh, I'm the one that needs to grow here. I'm the one that needs to grow, right? Because it's never really about the other person. The other person is only there to show me where I need to grow. That's the hard work, right? It's about our own growth and transformation. And sometimes others can be a mirror and remind us of whatever woundedness we have, and they're pricking that woundedness, which isn't about them, it's about our woundedness. Has anyone ever agree with that? Anyone see that? So everything in life is my teacher. And again, the song, Everything is Holy Now, just idea, I think rather than even saying it as teacher, it's all holy now, right? Another way is, this is my divine appointment. Whatever this personality, this struggle, this situation, event, whatever it is, it's my appointment to be with the divine, to do my growth, to transform. So that's that teaching. That's a great one, right? Now, the next one is dancing with chaos. I know, right? So what he does is Brahman is challenging our understanding of the word. Our common understanding, as y'all know, of this word is chaos is turmoil, right? It's confusion, violence, right? Would you not say that's a good definition? Turmoil, confusion, something to be avoided. Would you not agree? Who wants chaos in their life? Sign me up, right? We don't nobody, right? We don't want chaos. We don't want chaos. I know that when chaos shows up, this is what I say is, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for this because whatever it is, it's disrupting how I believe life should be. Wow. Does anyone ever say that? That's what we say to chaos. This is just a disruption of how I think life should be. But here's what he says. There are many potentialities inherent within chaos. If we are unwilling to experience chaos, we may be avoiding the opportunity for transformation. Then we must find new and more creative way of relating to chaos. We must learn to dance with it. And then he says, chaos is not just turmoil or confusion. It is also the unformed and unborn potential for new life. He says chaos is the precursor for creation. Right? Yes. And you were talking about Genesis, right? There is nothingness, and then something's formed, right? So when you look out into the world and you see the chaos, you can also say it's exactly as it needs to be to rebirth something new. Let's just hold that hope. That's what chaos is. It's to birth something new. That's what it is. So he does give us ways to move through it. He says, because I know I'm not the only one that sees chaos in the moment. So what he says is, we hold the intention of dancing with chaos. We hold the intention of looking at it when it arises. We look at those experiences of disappointment, disruption, of certainty. We recognize our experiences. Recognize how we're feeling, disappointment, uncertain. We look at the thoughts, we feel the sensations, and we move back into acceptance. we ask ourselves, can I welcome this experience as a symptom of a deeper reality seeking birth? Am I open to a deeper reality emerging and an emerging birth? Am I open to an emerging potential? And see myself as the potentiality. That's what it is, right? It's not easy. So, and then he says we choose to surrender. We choose to surrender. Choose to see chaos is something that shows up in our lives for our greater transformation. That's a big one, right? So everything, it's the idea of everything we see right now is for greater transformation. How does that feel? Does it feel more hopeful? Hard, right? Hard. That's the reality. It feels hard. So I want to return to where I began. Love is my God. Life is my spiritual practice. Humanity is my church. Loving my neighbor as myself is my daily worship. Loving my neighbor as myself is my daily worship. So in all of those statements, just notice where you feel challenged and just be curious about it, right? You're not here to flog yourself, right? You're not here to be hard on yourself. You're just here to be curious and to awaken, right? To be aware of the divine within. So that's all I have for y'all this morning. I'm going to have to leave, and that makes me sad because I want cake and fellowship with y'all. But I'm not going to lie. I think I'll be at the airport getting cake. Anyway, know that I love y'all so much, and I bless you on this journey. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.